Dice Throne. This is your review for 2. Good day, my name is Joe. Today I'll be going over Dice Throne and how it plays with 2 players. Now Dice Throne is a head-to-head 2 to 6 player game, mainly a 2-player game, where you'll be gathering your character or heroes with your set of tokens, your dice, setting your health to 50, using your combat points and cards to take down the enemy. Your goal in the game is to roll dice, to use your abilities, to take your opponent's health to 0 or below and win the game. So let's see a little bit more how to play. So in Dice Throne, as I said, everybody's going to have their own character mat, and everybody's going to have their own tokens with this little half sheet detailing some of the special abilities of the character. At the beginning of the game, everybody's going to get 4 cards, a couple combat points, and everybody's health is going to start at 50. On your turn, except for the first player, first turn, you're going to draw an extra card. You're going to get a combat point, and you're going to start planning your phase. So on your turn, you'll be able to upgrade your hero using combat points, play some cards, using combat points. Anytime you play cards, you'll probably be using some combat points, and just determining your strategy for the turn. And then you're going to roll your 5 dice, and it's kind of Yahtzee style, where you can decide which ones you want to roll, which ones you want to keep. You get a total of 3 rolls. And then after the 3rd roll, you determine which of the 7 abilities you want to use on your player board. And then most of the time it'll do damage. Sometimes you'll be utilizing some of your tokens. But after the 3rd roll, you do your damage. The opponent has a chance to defend as long as it's not an undefendable attack. And that's kind of the turn. That's the game loop, is draw a card, get your combat point, play a few cards, upgrades for your main phase, roll the dice 3 times, do the ability, have the opponent do their defense, and pass the turn. So let's see a little bit more what I thought about the game. So the components in this game I really like. Each character and their hero has their own little tray. I really like how these fold up, nice and compact. Everybody has their own special abilities that they have on the side with special tokens, individual dice, custom cards. I really enjoy the components and the ease of the components in this game. The rules were very easy. I like things like this where it's just a 2-page kind of leaflet in the rule book. Rule book didn't take me long to read, with the turn breakdown. I really like that. And as far as references go, there's also 2 cards that give you very easy references on them as well. It's very good for just turn flow. Somebody can just go down the list and then it's the other player's turn. So components, rules, references, very awesome for Dice Throne. So let's talk about setup and table size. Setup, not going to take you long at all to get this to the table. You choose your hero, you put the board on the table, you read your half sheet, you put your tokens over here, your dice, your health and markers, everything's in the little tray, but easy to get to the table, 3 minutes or less maybe. Table size itself definitely can be played on a 3x3, if not smaller, and I really like that about this game. So let's talk about the gameplay a little bit. The gameplay is really neat. I like how everyone has their own abilities they're able to do, and on your turn, when you roll these dice, you can see, am I going to try to go for a set, or multiples of a dice, or a certain combination, or am I trying to get this straight? And if I'm really lucky on the first roll, maybe I'm going for the ultimate power. Can I use my cards to manipulate anything? Can I use my tokens to manipulate anything? It's really neat to kind of use the different choices and the different avenues you have on your turn to deliver the most damage that you can and be kind of as efficient as you can. I really like that about this game. I love luck factor and dice. The decks are relatively small. What's kind of can come up. And it's just an overall neat gameplay. Just rolling dice, trying to see what you can do is really cool about this game. So I think the gameplay is really neat. The one thing I don't enjoy as much, and some people don't find this as an issue, is the you go, I go mechanic, where if you've seen those slap fights or those, some sort of, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Okay, now you punch me in the face. That's a little bit how this feels. There's not a whole bunch to do if you don't have the right cards on the other player's turn, and your defense there's not a ton you can do about that either. So it's a little tough for me to really like the player interaction between the turns, but on your turn, it is a lot of fun. It's just not as fun when the other player gets to go. So if you can keep ways to stay engaged, if that doesn't bother you as much, then this game may be an awesome go-to. But the loop itself is pretty neat, just on the different characters you can get. So the gameplay is there, and just like the ease of a 20-minute game is awesome in this box. So is this game good for two? And I will say I'll probably only play this game for two. Either my wife and I, or if my buddies at Dads and Dice want to play, I'll definitely play. But I like this. I will caveat this by saying we only have this one box. This is Vampire Lord versus Seraph, and I like it. I probably won't get more because of the you go, I go kind of style doesn't resonate with me. But if that doesn't bother you, if you like what you see as far as rolling the dice and being able to decide on your turn what you want to do, using cards to manipulate and the tokens, the gameplay loop is still a lot of fun. And if you're kind of still on the fence, my buddies at Dads and Dice do have a lot of playthroughs of Dice Throne on their channel. I'll leave a link below, and if you really want to dive into how the gameplays actually go. But for a two-player game, this is a good game. It doesn't reach the great category for me, but I can see why a lot of people do like this game. There's not too much to it. The complexity, I would say, is probably on the low to barely medium end. But there's a lot of mechanics going on, using your health as a resource, using your combat points as a big resource, seeing what cards you have in your hand, make sure not to play them too soon. All the characters play different. If you like Marvel, I think there's 6, maybe even 8 Marvel characters to play. You can just mix and match. They have season 1, season 2. There's a ton of content that you can go down the Dice Throne, route if you really enjoy the game. I would definitely recommend maybe picking up just a one-on-one box just to see if you like it, and you can expand from there. So once again, a good game for two, maybe not quite at that great level for me, but I can definitely see the appeal. So that was my review on Dice Throne. Hope you guys have a great day, and until next time.